Hey guys, Aaron here with another fountain pen review. And today I'm going to talk about the pen that you see in front of you, which is the Kaweco Sport. And so really I'm going to talk about a little bit about the history of the pen, not a ton, but I wanted to at least give you guys kind of an idea about some of the history. And truthfully, I could spend several videos just talking about the history of Kaweco as a pen company. This is a pen company that's been around, obviously, for a very long time. They originated in 1883 originally, and they started off. Obviously, it's a German-made pen, so obviously Germany, and Heidelberg, Germany, to be more specific. So obviously, Heidelberg is synonymous with fountain pens. While yes, it is a university town, it was, at least at one point, considered to be the fountain pen capital of the world. Our first Kaweco Sport was called the Model 616 or 616, and that pen was offered to the pen market in 1912. So this is a pen that's been around for well over 100 years now. Now, Kaweco as a company, unfortunately, has fell on hard times more than once. They've actually filed for bankruptcy twice throughout the years, once in 1929 as well as in 1981. They obviously went through two world wars. They actually had to completely stop production from 1943 to 1945 due to World War II. So it is a company that has gone through tons and tons over the years. In 1935, Kaweco actually launched its first piston filler in the sport line. So they did offer a piston filler as well in 1935, which was extremely popular, especially for soldiers of the time, because it was a pen that was obviously already very small, that they could carry in just about anything, but it also allowed them to have a greater ink capacity due to it being a piston fill fountain pen. Another really cool note about the pen is in 1971, Kaweco received a license to produce a line of sport pens for the 72 Olympics that were held in Munich, Germany. Again, thought that was something that was really cool to mention, that Kaweco, throughout all of these years or Kaweco Sport being a pen that's been around for over 100 years, going through, essentially two world wars, and then also being a pen that was basically, in a way, literally they produced a line of pens to commemorate the 72 Olympics. So I just thought it was another really cool thing about the history of not only the sport pen itself, but Kaweco as a company. Now, when they filed for bankruptcy in 1981, unfortunately, they were not reacquired until 1995. So there was about a 14 to 15 year stretch where there were no Kaweco pens being produced. In 1995, when they were reacquired, however, the first pen that they relaunched was the sport model. And honestly, it's been going really strong ever since then. And you think about, man, you've got a pen here that is still in production, and it's basically been in production since 1912, essentially. When you think about it, and it's outlasted, several wars. It has outlasted different types of technology, the ballpoint pen, computers, cell phones, tablets. All these different things, email, all these different things. And the pen still is a very, very popular pen that so many fountain users, and really just pen users in general that may not be fountain pen connoisseurs or collectors, so to speak, own a Kaweco Sport. And when you think about it, there's a lot of reasons for that. It's a relatively inexpensive pen, especially as a German pen goes. It has a name that is, in a lot of ways, synonymous with history as well as quality. And because it is relatively inexpensive, it's well known to write well. This is one of the reasons why it is such a popular fountain pen. Obviously, my last review was of the Delight Alpha. So that is obviously a pen that is a pen that mimics this specific fountain pen. Now talking about this pen right here, this is a pen that I did acquire secondhand. I got it for roughly around $15. It did come with a clip, so I did not have to purchase that clip separately. So for instance, if you purchase a Kaweco Sport, there are a multitude of different colors and materials, so to speak, that you can purchase these. It doesn't just come in like black or, just really bland colors. Mine just happens to be a black. So you've got a lot of different varieties that you can purchase as far as colors go. Now, if you purchase one, however, you do not get a clip with it. So if you're someone that really needs a clip, because you want to put this inside of a shirt pocket or something of that nature, you will have to purchase the clip separately. So you're going to pay roughly, let's say you get one of just the regular sport models, you're going to pay around $20, give or take. And you will need to purchase a clip separately, which again, those are sold. I've seen them as low as $5 on some sites and some places, and as high as $10 to $12, depending upon where you purchase it from. So it's just something to obviously take into consideration. The other thing about the pen is it is you will not get a converter. You will get a cartridge. And it is a proprietary cartridge, which I'll show you why here in a moment. You'll notice this is actually a cartridge that came with this pen. It was actually stuck upside down in the barrel. So it's just a standard blue cartridge, got their labeling on the side of it, and obviously it's proprietary. Now you do have the option as well to eyedropper the pen, and I'll show you why here in a moment. There's no metal in the barrel or in the barrel section as well. So there are a lot of videos out there of people eyedropping these pens and showing how to do so. So by doing that, you're going to have a pen that's obviously going to have a much greater ink capacity. And then your third option is to purchase one of their proprietary converters, which is actually the option I chose. And I'll show you the converter here in a moment. Now, looking at the pen itself real quick, we're going to start actually at the top, and we're going to see that Kaweco logo. So you see Kaweco. Moving over to the cap, you'll see since 1883. The cap itself is very stiff. It does work, or I said cap, clip. Clip is very stiff, but it does work well. Now, I will say certain types of thinner shirt materials, it's a little hard to get this in there at first. So I do have to play with it a little bit. And sometimes if I push a little too hard, this clip will start to move up and down, as you see it just did there. Moving over to this side, you'll again see some Kaweco branding with Germany underneath it. And then you have Kaweco Sport on the cap. I like this cap finial here on top. I think it's a nice touch. I like the branding and everything also. Now, moving down the pen itself down towards the barrel, you'll notice you've got it kind of tapers down here, and it really looks like a piston turning knob. Now, a lot of this is due to, at least in my opinion, now I did not research this, so I could be wrong, but this kind of helps. Number one, when you want to take the pin off, it's easy to turn it, obviously, to get the barrel out, or to separate the barrel from the cap. And then this notch where it kind of tapers down really allows it to securely fit inside of that cap liner when you post the pen, because this is a pen that, unless you have extremely small hands, you're going to have to post it in order to write with it. Looking at the end of the barrel, you'll notice that we have made in Germany. Trying to get that to focus a little bit better so you guys can see it. There it goes, made in Germany. Now, taking the cap off, obviously it is a twist to turn off cap. It takes about 1 1/4 turns. And then we reveal that section, nib, and feed. The section is kind of it's an hourglass section. It tapers down in the middle and then flares back out at the end. It's not doesn't have a huge hourglass effect, and part of that is because the pin's already small, and obviously it's not very girthy, so you don't want to have a section that is tapers down extremely. Otherwise, it's probably not going to be very comfortable to hold. Now, as far as the barrel threads, you can definitely feel them. I wouldn't say that they're very sharp, however, but they're not extremely shallow either. But they aren't extremely discomforting, and I typically hold the pen about right here. So I do feel them on the back portion of my finger right here, but it doesn't really bother me when I'm writing with the pen. Now, taking off the barrel real quick, again, you'll notice no metal inside of there, and obviously no metal here. So this is a pen, again, that you can eyedropper. And there are a lot of videos out there. So if you are someone that's interested in this pen or planning on acquiring it and you might want to eyedropper it, definitely watch one of those videos just to make sure that you're doing it properly and that you're not going to have any surprises when you pull your pen out. Now, again, I did purchase this converter separately. You'll notice it has Kaweco branding on it. It is just a push-pull converter. It works fine. I got this one from Gold Spot Pens. I think I got it for about $8.95. So again, you're going to have an additional cost. If you purchase one of these pens, you're going to have to, if you want a clip, you got to purchase that separately. And if you want a converter, so you're someone that likes to change out inks a lot, then again, you're going to have to purchase this separately as well. I know some people aren't huge fans of push-pull converters, but this one works fine. It's what you're stuck with. If you acquire one of these pens, it is what you have to work with. You either have the cartridge that, yes, you can refill with a blunt tip syringe or something of that nature. You rinse it out, and then you can put whatever bottled ink you want. Many people do that, and it works fine for them. I chose to go this route just because it's what I'm used to, and it's easy to fill the pen, and this works fine for me. Now, it's not going to have a great ink capacity, so that's one downside to it. Now, looking at the nib, you'll see you've got some scroll work towards the end of the nib. On the left-hand side, you will see that it says Germany, if I can get it to focus. On the right, it says since 1883. And then you've got Kaweco in the middle, and then M for medium, because this is a medium nib. Now, this is a stainless steel gold-plated nib. And the nib definitely, I would say, has some springiness to it, which I was kind of surprised when I used it. I wasn't expecting a nail necessarily, but I wasn't expecting it to be as springy as it is. And then the back of the feed, again, you have some Kaweco branding. They definitely, I will say, there's a lot of branding on the pen. They will not let you forget that this is a Kaweco pen. So real quick, talking about things that I really enjoy about the pen and things that I don't enjoy. I love the fact that it is a small pen that I can literally put inside of anything. I mean, there's nothing that I can't fit this pen inside of. I've even put it inside of that little small jean pocket that you have on your jeans, and the pen fits in there fine. If you're someone, if you're a lady that, carries small purses and you're looking for something like a pen like this that would fit really well, this would be perfect for you. You wouldn't even, need a clip necessarily. Just put it wherever you need, but you would be able to pull it out and the pen's ready to use anytime you need it. This is obviously a pen that was, during the wars was carried by soldiers. It was very popular because it was relatively inexpensive, and they could put it inside of anything. And there's a reason for that. So that's really something that I really enjoy about the pen. Some things I don't enjoy as much are the fact that really you got to buy the clips separately, which doesn't bother me quite a lot. But it again, you're going to pay roughly about $20 for the pen, which is not a huge investment. But you pay $20 for a lot of other pens, and you get a clip. So it does kind of a little bit of an annoyance. And in addition to that, probably the thing that bothers me the most is just the fact that it is only a cartridge filled pen, or at least that's all that you get with it. You don't get a converter. I wish that they would offer the pen with a converter. I'm sure there's reasoning behind that, and I'm not the person to make those decisions, obviously, but I do think that would be kind of a nicer selling point for the pen is if it came with a converter, also to help compete with some other fountain pen manufacturers as well. With all that being said, this is a pen that it does what it's supposed to do. It writes well. It feels good in the hand. Now, again, this is a pen that you have to post. To me, I can't write with it without posting it, but it is well balanced, and that's even with the clip. It's not back heavy. It feels really nice in the hand. I can't complain about the performance of this pen as a general rule. So the next question is this a pen that is worth owning? And I say yes. I think everybody should own one, especially if you're someone that enjoys fountain pens. It's just a really cool pen. It's a pen you can tinker around with. You've got tons of nib options out there that you can use as well. I definitely think it's a pen that's worth owning. And you've got a lot of different materials. Again, going back to that, you have so many different materials and colors that you can choose from. So I think it's a pen that's definitely worth owning. So up next, guys, I'm going to do a writing sample with the pen, and then we'll finish up from there. And you guys will notice I did not do a sizing comparison. The pen's small. There's your sizing comparison. It is very small. So again, this is the Kaweco. Had a little bit of a hard start with it. Sport. And this is a medium nib. And the ink I'm using is diamine, green black. All right. This pen has been sitting for a few days, and I did not write with it at all before this writing session. So it is a little bit dry, and obviously with diamine ink, something I've noticed, and as much as I love this ink, doesn't always, it dries out a lot faster. There's a little bit of a skip there as well. As far as overall wetness, though, when you get this thing going, I mean, it is a very wet writer. But I don't think that is really so much indicative of the pen. I don't think the ink suits the pen quite as well. So I'm not going to condemn the pen because I have been writing with this a lot, and the pen was working great. So I'm not going to condemn the pen. Line variation, again, you're not going to get a ton of line variation, but I guess the best way to describe this pen is it's just kind of springy. I pushed it a little too far there. but it is springy, which I like, and which was kind of surprising for me that it was that springy. Really, that's it. You know, this is a pen. Again, I'm going to reiterate, I acquired it secondhand. You know, I just happened to be one day looking, and I saw this one, and I thought, you know, the price for it, considering I was getting a clip and everything with it, and I relatively like black pens, so I thought, hey, why not? So really, guys, that concludes the video. You know, tell me what you think about it. Tell me what type of Kaweco Sport you have and what color you have, and what type of ink you like using in it as well. I put Waterman ink in this pen already, and that actually performed a lot better than the diamine. And this green black usually performs a little bit better, but it's just not liking this pen as much, or the pen's not liking the ink, I'm sorry. But tell me what type of ink you like to put in yours. And again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. Obviously, comment down below on what you think, and subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, day, afternoon, whatever time of the day you're watching this, and I shall gladly see you guys later. Bye-bye.